everyone. We are back with an update here on the Karmelo Anthony press conference with the Karmelo Anthony's family press conference. We saw this gentleman speak a few days ago. We covered it, but now, like, this is I don't know if the dad got kicked out. Austin's father got kicked out. We're going to go over it together and everything as you all get notified. Hopefully people get notified. I don't know if people are going to get notified with this video. Let me know in the comments if you all got notified so I could continue. Let me know where the hell you're watching from and everything as I get set right here. Let us know what city, country, or state you are watching from as well. Don't forget, tonight, Grayson Report will be live as well, so check her out, support her and stuff, as people do not get notified here on YouTube. I don't know what the hell is going on. Let's get right there. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. What's up, everybody? Let's react to this. Let's react to this press conference, and then let's see if the father got kicked out. I think there was a delay in the press conference and everything. Notified, Ann. All right. We're back. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
I want to start off this press conference.
Could you guys hear him say that? Audio good. I'll wait till you give me the okay with the audio, and then we will continue. A little low.
I want to start off this press conference.
Better?
To say something as a deep note that I can tell America.
This is not going to end up good, man. They want to make it. This is just. They want to make it like with. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wasn't there, so this is just not going to end up good. I don't even like reporting this shit at this point.
What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference.
The father showed up, it seems like. The father of Austin showed up, and he was escorted out. I guess he's addressing that. And then I guess the father represents America now. Folks, don't be a good person, because if one person does something stupid, that is all on you. There's no, we're all the same. Okay?
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America.
Okay.
What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Wow.
Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life.
Did his father interrupt it, though? I don't know what happened, man. I really don't know what happened. Did his father show up and interrupt it? Fucking weird. Let's look for it. Let's look for it.
This press conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity.
I got video of him getting
son.
kicked out.
Next Generation Action Network from the beginning.
Hold on, let me see if I can show you the video of him getting kicked out. Oh my God, where's the mouse? Yeah. All right, let me show you what happened earlier. Sorry, folks. The father getting escorted out at the press conference. It looks like allegedly. This is just going to escalate and escalate, and I'm just done with it. What are the I want to know where's the I want to see footage, man. What's going on here? Did the kid call him something? Like, is it racial? I want to know proof. Was Austin being a bully? I want,
to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words.
I want to see what the father did.
Don't quote anybody.
Okay.
Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf.
Is that disruptive?
Because we respect the dignity of life and loss.
You guys hear this?
And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you.
I want to know what the dad did, though. I can't judge if the dad was being disrespectful until I see video, right? Am I wrong? Got to be very careful here.
We have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss.
I want to know what he's talking about too.
And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even
Heather, how
if
are you?
I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you.
I want to know what he did, though. So apparently the dad showed up and got escorted out, but so for me to judge if he was disrespectful is, I got to see what he did. Just showing up, I don't know if just showing up is disrespectful, but.
All the character who is not invited, he knows that
just not invited.
That is inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay. What he has
is it really bad if you just show up? I don't know, man.
Failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is
There's actually a lot of conservatives that are kind of like Karmelo Anthony's side. I've seen like Tim Pool. I think he's spoken about that it can be self-defense. I don't know. Someone else too. I forgot who.
Right, disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the next.
He's not some the dad is not supposed to show up. I don't know that the dad disrupted just showing up. That's the disrespectful part. Is it, folks? I don't know.
Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation.
Okay, all I know right now, all I can tell you is that it looks like the dad showed up and asked to leave before the press conference started. Now, I don't know. I think that upset the family and stuff. So,
about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go.
Folks, I'm about to this kind of topic is just driving me nuts. Oh my God.
Let's be clear. The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this. But we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home.
You're talking about the alleged home they moved into. I don't know. I mean, that's what people are reporting. But he's setting the record straight, I guess.
Purchase Escalade in private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Karmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative. The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was
I never said anything like that. you know, like I think he has the right to raise money to defend himself 100%.
Actually,
And I don't even think the Ghost Send Go, whatever the fundraiser was, it wasn't even really specific about it was only for um the defense, from what I remember reading. I don't know. There was like 3 of them. I don't know. Everything's confusing here.
hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund.
What's up,
It
Pete?
was
You know I was not doing that. I don't need to apologize. I'm just looking at it, reporting it, and I actually, you know, this guy was the last press conference. I thought he was making a good point until the end. You know, what's up, everybody?
to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like
Also, you got to remember the way the story was reported initially is what people remember. And once people are programmed to think one way, they're not going to change their mind. A lot of them won't. Initially, it was just kid takes out knife, stabs other kid. So everybody's upset at the kid with the knife, right? So as soon as we start getting like other details, like, well, maybe there is this could have happened, or there is where someone thought it was self-defense. Now, I still don't think there was a reason to take out a knife. I don't see the excuse for that, but there's no fucking video. There's nothing. But yeah, I want to see the videos. Good morning, Karen. I want to see the video and the proof. I don't know.
Z was able to call, give, send, go, everybody in the media in these news outlets that I've never heard before could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family
Exactly
never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
Wow. Yeah, the GoFundMe. Remember, we read some of those. They were all like weird.
News outlets.
GoFundMe is different than the. Yeah, it seems like it. I get it, Jalissa. I get it. I get your frustration. I want to hear what happened with a. Oh man, it's like I want to give everybody a benefit of the doubt, but this is getting ugly, man.
I've never heard before could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
I don't think they can collect that money. I think anybody could just open a GoFundMe and pretend it's for someone else. That was rough.
All of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud. Okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to $11,000.
Damn.
So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Karmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the families and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense. Okay. Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Karmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice, in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds.
And in every country. Every country has racism. Not just this country. Africa has racism. Latin America has racism. Asia has racism. Sorry. But it's true. It's stupid. Stupid there is racism, but let's not play pretend.
And receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear.
Yeah, racism. Could you, folks, could you point out, mention in the chat what country has no racism? In the chat, real quick. Name the country, state, network that has no racism. Yeah, racism is everywhere, in Australia too. Name the country that has no racism in the chat, folks. I think the reason it's about racism is because it triggers people. Name the city that has no racism in the chat. Anybody know any? Antarctica. I agree, Jalissa, but to pretend it's only in America, I don't know. I think it's the least place that has racism.
To stand and demand justice, in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network,
this guy says that so many times, man, you can have a drinking game.
We will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother, and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several.
Aruba has a lot of racists in Aruba. They hate Latinos there. So someone said in Aruba. So I don't know.
Several times. We didn't just rush.
Some of
We
them
have
did.
had this
Not everybody
conversations
there, but
over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Karmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Karmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate. Okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Karmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD.
folks, this is really, really triggering me. This is really, I just want justice to happen. I don't want this to happen again to a young kid in high school. I honestly, what I think happened is that Karmelo went to the other side where the rival team was to as a hey man, I'm gonna kind of make fun of them and look what I'm going to do. I'm just going to chill on the opposite team. And then the other guy came in and Austin came in and tried to act the tough guy for his side. It's like team rivalry, school rivalry type of thing that went wrong. All right. That's what I think happened. I don't think Karmelo, I haven't seen anything, but man, it's I just can't think that he would want to end another guy's life. I don't think that he didn't want, and I think he is shocked of what happened when he took out the knife. Some people don't know the potential. Too many movies. You see the knife just stabs and nothing happens. I really don't think. I just don't really think. I think this is just a big mess. Then why did he bring a knife? I don't know, man. I really don't. I think he brought a knife, and it was in. Look, you gotta also remember that allegedly the knife was in the book bag, not in his pocket. I don't know. You think that happened too? I think, yeah, it's this rivalry. I'm going to go and be cool, and I'm going to go on the other side, and then I'm going to be cool and kick the guy out from the other side. No report, 100%. I agree with you on your opinion on what happened. Just to say it takes a lot of force to put an object through skin and bone to get to the heart. M is not, yeah, I do agree, but hey, listen, there is a way you could do it. If it hits at an angle, if the knife hit him at an angle, it could go. I hate to say it, I know what it would take because I used to take martial arts. But if you get struck with a knife with at an angle, it goes to the organs. But if you do straight on, yeah, it is mostly protected. I don't think. And then now it's blown out of proportion with the money. This is not going to end up well. And we're talking about 17-year-old guys, man. They're dumb. Yeah, it would have been a punching fight if it wasn't for the knife. He's 5'9". Yeah, well, I mean, but it's also he's 5'9", track and field. I don't care. Okay, so what do you mean, Eve, that he's 130 pounds, 5'9"? Because 130 pounds, 5'9" is a fighting machine. That is dangerous athleticism. Go to a boxing gym. Those guys are like 115 pounds and they will knock people out. Yeah, no, the weight there is not. Metcalf was 6'3", he could have fallen on him. Yeah, well, no, I rather, honestly, I used to spar the 220-pound guys. They can't fight. The thin guys were the ones that would knock you out. You could use the newspaper. Yeah. Yeah, teenagers fight all the time, JK. Muscles do not make you a good fighter, man. Thank you for letting us speak freely, Nerd Report. I respect you because you're fair. Thank you. I try to be fair. I try to be fair, and I do let people speak unless it's something racist or homophobic or just like, you know, accusing of others or insulting. But and that will get me in trouble on YouTube. So I'm trying my best. So oh man, Marcia says, I live in Fresco, Texas. We were devastated by the press conference held by the Metcalf was a linebacker. You think that's some weight class? I don't know. I used to knock out football players all the time in high school. When we used to do the martial art classes, football players can't fight. They think they can, but they can't. Unless they're football players that take mixed martial arts. I'd be more afraid of the track and field dude, man, or basketball players. Linebackers, they wusses. I hate to say that, dude, but no, football players are not good fighters. They're not good fighters, man. They're whack. Knock you down, okay. Remember, you're talking a diet of pizza and weightlifting. Finally made it to a live. Hey, what's up? Did Karmelo take martial arts? I'm not saying he took martial arts. I don't know. Maybe he did. But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the weight, Karmelo's weight has nothing to do with how a brawl would go. I would actually, what I will say is this. If I was an athlete, I'd prefer to be a track and field athlete than a football athlete. I think track and field is more difficult. Again, Eve, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe this guy that's doing the press conference knows more than I do. He probably, well, 100% he does. He's certainly speaking like he does. He's certainly speaking like he does.
Is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say.
Boxing has weight classes, yeah, but also, Eve, boxing has gloves. Boxing has gloves. And if so you have to punch through those gloves. So that's why the weight classes are there mostly, because, you know, but if it wasn't for the gloves, 130-pound guy would knock out a 200-pound guy easy with a bare knuckle. A knuckle's like a bat.
As many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude?
Wait, are they trying to blame the school now because of the weather? Okay. Do you all think the weather is relevant here? Do you think the weather is relevant? I know that the tent was there because of the weather, right?
Many media outlets have asked us what went on. I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee.
I think is he expanding the blame to the superintendent of the school? Is it the school's fault? Is the school kind of relevant. Is the school responsible here, folks?
Why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research.
What?
Because as a person who is the administrator of your children,
is he saying that the weather was bad? The school let the school, okay. Is he trying to say that the bad weather forced Karmelo to go into the other tent? Is that what he's saying here? Is that his argument?
you are responsible for the safety of the children.
Okay, school's gonna get sued, folks. That's where it's coming. That's what's coming.
Other journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children.
Is he reaching? Do you guys? School is responsible. In my opinion, Karmelo was practically physically assaulted by Metcalf for trying to stay out of the rain. But is the school responsible? There could be a physical assault. I don't know. I don't know.
And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Karmelo Anthony. Okay? So
this guy, whatever you think of him, he knows more. He's got to know more. He's got to have sat down with Karmelo and asked him, like, hey, dude, what happened? And he's got to have some sort, I don't know, some way of kind of like not really he can't be lying 100%. He could be bending the truth. I don't know, but he's got to know. Because then after this, if the truth comes out and it's totally the opposite of what he said, this guy's done. The school is responsible. They should have stopped Metcalf from assaulting. No, they can't stop they can't stop every kid from assaulting another one. The school is responsible. They should have stopped Metcalf from assaulting Anthony. That is at that point, you know what? Homeschool. No more. You got to homeschool everyone. They can't. The school can't be responsible for what happens with an individual attacking another one. You know, we don't know. These kids are. There's hundreds of them in a school. But if you do believe that, I do respect that. Then I gotta say, homeschool is the only way. What happened with holding our kids accountable for their accounts? That went out in the 90s. The kid is not 3 years old. He's 17. I was pretty normal. I was pretty much the same dude when I was 17. If you have a problem, leave knives at home. People don't fight. Yeah, we really need to see the footage. What if there's no footage? This guy though, you got to hand it to him. He's putting himself out there. He's really putting himself out there.
So in the next coming days, we will be.
Folks, if you want to support the channel, you could do so with a super chat. You could do a super sticker, buy some memberships, become a member here on Nerd Report, be the first one to do so tonight. There's multiple footage. That'll be great. Now, a lot of people are asking why a knife. George here is asking why knives. Knives aren't always used for self-defense or attack. Knives are sometimes used to open letters. They're used for work. They're not always, that's why knives are actually legal to have. Can't wait till the trial. There we go. Eve, thank you. 1 month member. Thank you for being a member and supporting the channel.
Announcing to the public, we will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the records, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of
their press conferences, man, like they look very like this is a big deal. I don't know why they have them in these little, like no one shows up. What the hell?
The sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain. So that
there is that, man. Some people work with knives, Alyssa. It is true. Put it this way: if in California, from what I understand, if you have a knife, you can't have a knife. There's rules to it. Like I think they have to be a certain size, and they have to be open with two hands. You have to use both hands to open it. At least that's what I think. I don't know. You guys research your own law. I don't know. But if a cop goes, what is this for? And you say for self-defense, it becomes a deadly weapon. And I think they can confiscate it and take you to jail. But if you say it's for opening for work, knives are used for work a lot of the times. But there's a lot of stuff we have with us that can be used as a deadly weapon and all of a sudden become a deadly weapon. A car, a baseball bat. All that stuff could be easily considered a deadly weapon. If Karmelo had a bat with him, he could actually, if he would have used it, it would have still been assault with a deadly weapon. Even though a bat's for baseball.
This family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this, so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to.
What question?
Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, You didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox. Do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what was going to happen to you.
Okay, so, but weren't there interviews with some of the high school students and they're under 18? Is he saying that you can't mention? I don't know. There were interviews with the other kids. Was it there? I believe I saw interviews, the media interviewing kids that were underage. I am confused as well. I'm so confused why he went to that tent and why he had a knife on his person. We don't know this. We don't know what happened. That's the thing. We don't know what happened.
Okay, so don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near.
That's the judge that reduced the bond to 200,000 or 250,000. I think, I'm not sure, from $1 million. I think that's common though. I don't think that's
near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just
thanks for the super chat. Eve loves God. Thank you so much for the support. Hearts for you for supporting the channel today. And you're saying via your super chat, I don't care about their spokesperson, but I do stand for due process. Stand your ground. And innocent till proven guilty. Texas law, HB 1935. President Trump rocks. Listen, again, we got to see what would happen and stuff, but there's a lot of conservatives that are on Karmelo's side. And for this guy to come out and say that only conservatives are against Karmelo, that's kind of like shooting yourself in the foot, if you ask me. But Eve, what do you think of that? Thanks for the support today here on Nerdy Report. Hearts for you in the chat.
Shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the back, I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter.
There are people, they just, okay, look, they are criticizing the judge because she's Black, but I heard she's a Republican, conservative. I don't know if that makes a big deal. But listen, there are people that use the race shit, man. But listen, I am so sick and tired that most people are not racist, man. I do believe that. And just because there's a few fucking idiots, they get highlight and they blanket statement everybody like we're all racist, and we're not. You know, stop elevating the dumbasses. You know, plus if there's 100 idiots, it doesn't represent the 350 million Americans. You know? It's very annoying. I think that's why people get annoyed in the chat when they come here, is like, because most of us, we're not looking at it that way, man. If I see video of Karmelo getting bullied by, I'm going to be like, man, geez, that sucks what happened to him and stuff. And if I see him just being the aggressor, I'm going to be upset the other way. I just want to see the proof. I don't care about the color, man. I really don't.
Never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America.
No, dude. There's always going to be an ugly attack, though. So there's always going to be an ugly attack. There's always going to be someone that has an ugly attack. Can't control that.
That no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years.
So you just said a little while ago that Republicans or you said conservatives are the ones attacking. I don't know. Like, make up your mind, brother.
She put herself through school. She raised her family. She did everything. I'm a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee.
That's right, Emily. Emily says, by the way, 16 months membership. Thank you so much. Emily says, I was raised colorblind. There's trash in all races. There is trash in all races. You are absolutely correct. Thanks for the support. All these over a year, Emily. Thank you so much for that. There's trash in everything.
I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Karmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judge in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers, why couldn't Karmelo Anthony be entitled? A child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home. Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial.
Oh, sure.
We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process because we want to make sure that Karmelo Anthony's due process. This is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very
So this is the last time they're doing a press conference, huh?
clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things. And we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried.
People are like trying to bring his past and everything. So
I tested and proven. I'm gonna just say I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You don't gotta inbox me. You ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story. I'm going to bring this mother, Kayla Hayes, and it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today.
by the way, people watching this, I don't know everyone who's watching my video right now. Like, I don't know you all personally. Don't bother anyone here, man. We do not. And if you're the type of person that's going to send racist shit to people and harass people and dox them, get off my channel. I totally do not support that. Okay? We don't support that. The community here doesn't support that. That's disgusting.
And I want you guys to respect her as she read this and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
Very young mama.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to.
I don't know, folks, but if there's a scenario where, like, I don't know what the law is. If there's a scenario where, like, someone's getting beaten up badly and they pull something out of their bag to defend themselves and they believe their life was in danger, I don't know. The whole thing could just turn. Kid may go off free. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the law.
Ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about.
If that's happening, which I probably think some people are doing that to them, we totally disavow. Screw that, man. The parents are so young looking. I feel for them. They shouldn't be. No, they shouldn't be harassed. 100% they shouldn't be harassed.
The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and
now, if you are a Tesla vandal, I don't care if they share your shit online. All right? I don't care. I'm not going to feel sympathy for you, but this is totally different. Just for the record.
my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms.
So they're doxing these people, right? And that's something the internet does. a lot of, to get harass people, to cancel people.
The police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what might happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial.
Because there's stupid people out there. Again, I really do think, and I know probably no one's going to convince me that they're saying the truth here, but I don't think it's everyone reporting on this is think it's racist, right? But I do think there's morons out there being racist. I do think that's happening. I've had that crap happen to me. You know what I mean?
Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Y'all, I'm going to show something up.
We do have video. There's some video out there of the dad getting kicked out of this thing. I don't know. Did he just, I don't know if he just showed up and then was asked to leave.
Of a post. You come for me, I come for you.
Oh,
Sarah
yeah.
Fields. Never heard of this woman.
Oh, somebody on Twitter, Sarah Fields. What the hell? Let's check her out. Oh my God. Sarah Fields. We're going to look at her Twitter. What's going on? All right. I have her Twitter open. We'll check it out after. So this lady, what does she do? Let's check this out. This is interesting. I think she tweeted something and maybe they're trying to sue her. Let's see.
This is the kind of despicable things that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with hate.
What is she post?
Karmelo Anthony posted on something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family. Posting the family's picture.
Same ladies doing that?
These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I ask, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was.
Look, I seen this lady's Twitter. Don't bother her. Don't even go there. It's kind of like triggering. I don't know, man. It's just elevating the shit at a ridiculous. Not her. I mean, I'm not just saying her, but this whole thing is just getting out of hand, man.
He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody says anything. So since they tried to come for us.
What do you mean nobody says anything? People are saying, we're saying stuff about Rittenhouse.
I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. And I'm going to say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania.
Seriously, bro.
Everybody. Black people.
The thing is, man, this guy, like, dude, half an hour ago you said it's not, you didn't want to make it political. That's what I thought you said, man. Am I wrong? Now he's making it political.
In America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what.
So just racism started 2 months ago?
But we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a Black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected.
Again, what this country, unfortunately, every country on the planet, name one that's not.
The process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty of people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums. It will come out. They have a more than well capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD, but we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do
Who's that kid? Is that the other? Is it his brother? That's not the dad, is it?
this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I've seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today. And I want to thank them for their presence because this family needs strength right now. Thank you and God bless you.
What do you all think of that press conference? Hey, what's going on here?
We're going to handle them two different ways.
What is this?
You remember that. You were here when he said that.
Oh, Menendez.
The United States. I think it's CR.
At the Oval Office. We are going to step away for a
Here's
quick
this.
2-minute commercial
You guys
break,
hear
but
this?
we are
his position.
investigating that crash and working with emergency
Menendez
responders.
brothers
A
update?
lot still left to figure out, but
What is
we
it?
know that a number of students have already been transferred.
Mercy's Law, which gave freeway therapy to one
Is this
Mr.
now?
Lunsford. By the way, for those of you who are in the weeds,
By the way, this is Justin Baldoni's lawyer too. Okay, so what's going on?
The crash did happen around 2 p.m. local time when one of 3 buses carrying students from Pine Ridge Middle School overturned as it was traveling south after a field trip just outside of Charlotte. The incident was triggered by a blown tire on one of the buses, which was carrying about 35 students and 3 adults. That is according to officials there. Thankfully, the other 2 school buses in the group not involved, but the overturned bus quickly became the focus of, as you can see there, a very large emergency response.
What's going on here?
First responders reported needing several EMS units and even helicopters to help those who were injured. One responder heard time. Do want to head to another camera that has just popped up as we are live outside the hearing, the resentencing hearing for the Menendez brothers. It looks like we are hearing from their lawyer right now, Mark Garagos.
Okay, what is this?
when I think who has a couple of synapses that are still firing. This is a DA who made up his mind and did no hard work in terms of his position. He is vindicating no one's interest. He hired a lawyer who endorsed him as his head of victim services. He has given absolutely no victims services whatsoever to the victims in this case. He has taken a position at all times that is not supported by the law. It's not supported by the facts. In addition to that, as everybody already knows from last time I've talked about it, the two deputy DAs that he had, that he inherited from the previous administration, he gave freeway therapy to one, Mr. Lunsford. By the way, for those of you who are in the weeds, when Pam Bozanich lost by having a hung jury on the first trial, she was banished
What's
to
up, Bestie?
Norwalk and was not allowed to try the second case. When Brock Lunsford made the cardinal sin of following the law and the facts and initiating a resentencing for the Menendezes, one of the first acts, even before he was sworn in, was to banish Brock Lunsford to guess where? Norwalk. I don't know what's the matter with Norwalk. I'm sure it's a very nice place, but if you end up there as a DA, that's not exactly the pinnacle of your career. Nancy Thieberge, who was had a very illustrious career in the DA's office, he actually kicked out of the office. John Lewin, who spent 18 months as a commentator. Anybody that would put him on TV during the previous administration criticizing the Menendezes was promoted to major crimes, which is the plum assignment in the office. Habib Balian is his direct supervisor as the assistant head. You now have in addition to all of that,
Dusty, I got your package. Thank you very much. Superman Returns, right? Amazing. Love it. Love Superman. I'll show it off on a future stream. What do you all think of this case, folks? A girl I used to work with, daughter, was at track and field when yeah.
You have Mr. Hochman taking positions and doing press stunts that, in my humble opinion, not only violate his duty to the law, but violate his duty to the state of California, the county of Los Angeles. The ultimate insult, I believe, was last Friday when the grisly crime scene photos were thrown up unexpectedly.
Okay, so they threw up the crime. They're trying to free the Menendez brothers, but the DA put up the crime photos, and people were like, they think that was bad. But isn't that what they did? The crime they did? Shouldn't people see the crime they did? That's what they did. If it looks horrific, I mean, who else's fault is that than the guilty party? I don't know.
In violation of Marcy's law, which,
It's
as
violation
Mr.
of Marcy's
Friedman
law, I guess.
ably pointed out, is a constitutional provision. We believe that directly caused the traumatization, re-traumatization of Terry Baralt, who I'm happy to inform is now out of the hospital, but was found unresponsive. Mr. Hochman's solution, or his answer to her being traumatized, was at best weak-kneed apology, and to promptly have Kathy Cady, his supposedly walled-off head of victim services, arrange a rather failed protest at which he spoke on that Sunday morning while Terry Baralt was in ICU. Mr. Friedman has also articulated today.
Okay, so the Friedman is the guy representing the Justin Baldoni. We're gonna hear him talk right here. Well, we heard him talk before, but now he's representing the Menendez brothers
on behalf of the victims, further grounds for recusal, but all taken. The standard for recusal in this state under Penal Code Section 1424 has been met. We plan on filing that. I would have done it sooner. However, I wanted to get this hearing done. Unfortunately, to recuse a DA's office requires 10 court days under the code.
I don't know what this is.
And you have to give notice to the attorney.
Menendez brothers attorney speak aimed resentencing hearing. I don't know if did something happen today?
General. So anticipatorily answering some of your questions, I would suggest you ask Mr. Bonta what his position will be as the Attorney General and the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the state. Yes. Yes, under a recusal motion, so that you understand, is that there is the appearance of impropriety and action.
All right, what you're listening to there is the attorney for the Menendez brothers as day one of that.
The school bus for we're going to treat this separately.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and look for the press conference uninterrupted. Let's see if we can find that. Let's see if we can find let's see. I guess it was a. Is there any live? Did I just screw this up? Okay. There we go. Did you guys hear this or no? You guys hear this? U.S. was built on stolen land. Give it back then, bro, or move. Why would you be on? Why would you be supporting a place that was stolen land? I think we need to give back that. Unless we're giving it back, I don't see the point of saying that 100 times. I live in India. Okay, then don't worry about us. You're good over there. You're doing great. God bless you. I'm sure India's never done anything. Well, did you guys hear this in the background or no? No, you can't hear it? All right, let's see. You might need to put this in the title.
That's why I can't hear it now. Mine sounds so muffled.
Mic check 1 2. Can you hear me? Mic check. Okay, that's what.
People hear it. Where'd you donate the 50 euros? Tomorrow? We're not saying don't donate. Never said that. He has the right to defend himself. And they're going to come at him with like real serious lawyers. So he should have. I hope he uses the money wisely. You know. I don't know if we disagree. Where do we disagree, brother? Frankie, Eric, I don't know if we disagree. If you want to donate to Karmelo's funds, it is what it is. Yeah, that's exactly it. So do we. We want fair treatment for both. We haven't heard, well, you know, the entire thing, man. You know. You guys can hear this right in the background.
You want it on the other side, or you get it?
I think this side would be better, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just got the hair for me. It's set up to go on your right hill. So Gardner just left. Gardner, one of the deputy DAs, was just talking about something. It's never gonna end.
Here comes the family. Diane.
You guys can hear the people in the background, right? I'm just worried about that. Okay, so Menendez brothers appear in court for resentencing hearing after challenge from LADA. Is this new though? Texas is asking me, who do I believe? The killer, the killer Anthony, or the victim Metcalf? I believe the truth. I want to see the truth. Now, listen. Let me explain it to you. That's a good question. It's a good question. As someone who runs a podcast here, even though it's a small podcast and stuff, I gotta be fair. My words could come back and haunt me, and people will hold me accountable for what stuff I say because it is recorded, right? I want to know what happened. I don't know. I think there's opportunists everywhere. It looks one way, but it could be the other. I don't see a scenario where the knife is justified. But again, what I think happened is, I think maybe, I don't have any proof of this, is that Karmelo went to the opposite side, kind of like to, taunt them and have fun at it. It's like, hey, I'm at the rivals side of the team's tent. And I think the other kid came in there, Austin came in and said, get out. And it escalated from there. I think it's a team rivalry that went overboard. But I don't know. Anthony admitted to, yeah. Also, words trigger YouTube. There's a lot of things that we have to be careful what we say, because it will be even drowned out more in the algorithm than we are. So I got to be fair, Mark Garagos coming out. He is representing the Menendez brother. Let's get those lights up, folks.
For those of you who weren't in the courtroom, what was ultimately decided is we are filing a motion to recuse the district attorney in this case. We set a date of May the 9th. The family does not want to go through this charade anymore with the DA. They are going to, I anticipate, the motion hasn't been written yet, but given what transpired today, and given what's obvious to anyone, I think, who has a couple of synapses that are still firing, this is a DA who made up his mind and did no hard work in terms of his position. He is vindicating no one's interest. He hired a lawyer who endorsed him as his head of victim services. He has given absolutely no victims services whatsoever to the victims in this case. He has taken a position at all times that is not supported by the law. It's not supported by the facts. In addition to that, as everybody already knows from last time I've talked about it, the two deputy DAs that he had, that he inherited from the previous administration, he gave freeway therapy to one, Mr. Lunsford. By the way, for those of you who are in the weeds, when Pam Bozanich lost by having a hung jury on the first trial, she was banished to Norwalk and was not allowed to try the second case. When Brock Lunsford made the cardinal sin of following the law and the facts and initiating a resentencing for the Menendezes, one of the first acts, even before he was sworn in, was to banish Brock Lunsford to guess where? Norwalk. I don't know what's the matter with Norwalk. I'm sure it's a very nice place, but if you end up there as a DA, that's not exactly the pinnacle of your career. Nancy Thieberge, who was had a very illustrious career in the DA's office, he actually kicked out of the office.
By the way, thank you, Miriam, for that generous donation. Folks, if you want hearts for Miriam, thanks for the donation. I will share my PayPal if you guys want to support in the comments real quick.
And Lewin, who spent 18 months as a commentator, anybody that would put him on TV during the previous administration, criticizing the Menendezes, was promoted to major crimes, which is the plum assignment in the office. Habib Balian is his direct supervisor as the assistant head. You now have in addition to all of that, you have Mr. Hochman taking positions and doing press stunts that, in my humble opinion, not only violate his duty to the law, but violate his duty to the state of California, the county of Los Angeles. The ultimate insult, I believe, was last Friday when the grisly crime scene photos were thrown up unexpectedly in violation of Marcy's law, which, as Mr. Friedman ably pointed out, is a constitutional provision. We believe that directly caused the traumatization.
I think the aunt went to the hospital after the DA showed pictures or video from the crime scene.
Traumatization of Terry Baralt, who I'm happy to inform is now out of the hospital, but was found unresponsive. Mr. Hochman's solution, or his answer to her being traumatized, was at best weak-kneed apology, and to promptly have Kathy Cady, his supposedly walled-off head of victim services, arrange a rather failed protest at which he spoke on that Sunday morning while Terry Baralt was in ICU. Mr. Friedman has also articulated today, on behalf of the victims, further grounds for recusal, but all taken. The standard for recusal in this state under Penal Code Section 1424 has been met. We plan on filing that. I would have done it sooner. However,
Texas, I know I get where you're coming from. In my opinion, people defending Anthony uses a weapon is like people defending Will Smith after he assaulted Chris Rock. You have to you have no right to, I don't know what you meant there, attack a person. But man, look, there's all these opinions out there with very little evidence. And before I have a definitive opinion, I want to see everything, because then I'll have egg on my face. You know what I mean? I don't want to have egg on my face. Hey, what's up, everybody coming in from Popcorn Planet? What's up, Raiders coming in from Popcorn Planet? What's up, everybody? We're covering the Menendez brothers press conference. Also, if you are following Popcorn Planet, you know about Blake Lively. The lawyer Freeman is about to speak here, so stay tuned. Freeman is one of the representatives of the Menendez brothers, so he's about to speak. He's the guy representing Justin Baldoni. Okay, so stay there and watch what he has to say. He's going to speak right after Mark Garagos. Here we're covering all kinds of stuff. Welcome in here. Welcome, Andy Signor. Thank you once again for rating us. And once again, Kim, great work over there and stuff. Hit that one if you're coming from Popcorn Planet in the comments area. Thanks for the coverage. Yeah, Wendy, thank you very much. We talked about the Karmelo Anthony press conference earlier, and now we are talking about the Menendez brothers and stuff. Let us know what country, city, or state you're watching from. Also, if you want to support the channel, subscribe, or you could do PayPal. Right there, I'm dropping the link in the comments. You could send in a Cash App. You could send in a super sticker. You could become a member, whatever. I dare you to be one of those right now. All right, let's continue here with Mark Garagos.
I wanted to get this hearing done. Unfortunately, to recuse a DA's office requires 10 court days under the code, and you have to give notice to the Attorney General. So anticipatorily answering some of your questions, I would suggest you ask Mr. Bonta what his position will be as the Attorney General and the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the state. Yes.
Is it your contention that the DA is biased in this case?
You see,
yes, under a recusal motion, so that you understand, is that there is the appearance of impropriety and actual bias and on behalf of the DA. Anybody who witnessed him driving out here from the West Side enclave where he lives to do a press conference this morning to say nothing except to violate what was then a confidential document in front of the cameras and then to scurry off, I think would be probably exhibit 27 of the motion to recuse. It's not just, what's the what?
Where is the bias?
Okay. If you don't understand the bias, you'll just stay tuned and we'll read.
Well, Mark, you brought up Beverly Hills High School.
The guy doesn't know the bias.
I didn't bring up Beverly Hills High School, Mr. Kovacic. Mr. Friedman did. Give him credit. I brought up everything I just detailed is what I brought up. That will be part of the motion.
But does that come into play here?
Everything is fair game. When you do an analysis based on the analysis we have done, based on recusal motions, which I have filed in the last 25 years and won in this county, this is about as righteous a recusal motion of a DA that I've ever had.
How frustrating is this for your clients?
This is now the third time.
Here we go.
we've had this
Do you want
recent-
the comprehensive risk assessment admitted report or not?
I haven't seen it, so I don't know how to answer that question.
This is the third-
Do you all think the Menendez brothers should be freed? Let me know in the comments. Oh shit. Did I just mess this up bad? Yep, I did.
There's part of me that thinks that the three deputies in that courtroom would welcome it, but that's a whole different issue. Yeah, and there was one more question. Meathead.
Meathead.
That's my affectionate nickname
Why
for
the
you.
concern about allowing the CRA to be admitted today? Can you explain why it's not relevant? Or if
I've got your ABC just sent me over your new contract, but you're not allowed to read it. Will you sign it? Anybody else? What? I can't hear
Is
you. What?
everything on hold?
There's a lot of local news outlets that don't like Mark Arrigo.
So that's why I said ask Mr. Bonta. Under the law in California, under Penal Code Section 1424, you must give the Attorney General, who is the chief law enforcement officer in the state, notice of your motion to recuse the district attorney. He gets to weigh in. Mr. Bonta will either say, yes, I agree, no, I don't agree, or I will leave it up to the judge. So that's why it takes 10 court days, because they have to be given notice.
Two clarifies everything now on hold until this May 9th date. No one's testifying tomorrow.
Correct. There is, to clarify, the court date that was reserved for tomorrow, nobody's going to testify. Mr.
Is there?
You want to see your contract? You want to see?
I'll be here. Do you guys want me to continue to cover the Menendez story? Let me know by hitting that one button in the comments.
Until June 13th.
You want to see your contract before you sign it, or you want to just sign it? Okay, I do.
No, but why not?
I didn't get a raise this year.
Remember how this started?
Yeah.
You know, remember how this started? It's Brian Friedman.
Brian Friedman is representing Justin Baldoni. Are you guys following that case? Now, Brian Friedman is, I guess he's also representing the Menendez brothers. Okay. Now, you all, let me know if you're following the Blake Lively story. Are you guys following the Blake Lively story? You should be.
You know, attorney for the families. Remember how this started today? Without notice to the families, as they're required to receive under Marcy's law, which is a California constitutional provision. Your constitutional rights, their constitutional rights. How this started was a blanket notice that we got yesterday, which was like a 5-page nothing motion that said, we want to continue the hearing of today. So all these people flew out to be part of a process and here in good faith to help, share honestly about their experience, about, all sorts of things that are relevant here. And they flew out, they were ready to move forward. It was the DA's office that brought a motion to continue this. While we were arguing the motion to continue this, Mr. Hochman was busy out here with you guys pontificating on whatever, however horrible this crime was, which is not even the standard of what we're talking about. The standard is about rehabilitation. And the issue, at least as far as I'm concerned and the family's concerned, is that they're provided with their Marcy rights. They're provided with their constitutional rights. They're heard. They're not abused. They're not treated in a poor way and overlooked. And they're given the right to speak. They're given the right for this proceeding to move forward. And what's happened here is it's become a mockery, an absolute mockery, where, they're filing continuance motions, they're filing, motions to withdraw, the resentencing that we're fighting last week that the judge obviously agreed with us on. I mean, Mr. Hochman has made this a mockery. And you have to ask yourself why. Why is he doing that? Is he personally vested in this? Does he have a personal grudge against Lyle and Eric? Does he have a personal grudge because he's somehow vested in this personally? Does he have a personal grudge against the family members who are entitled to notice?
Do you think the DA has a personal grudge? I mean, look, man, do you all have a, I mean, you could say that for Freeman. It's like, do you have a personal like? There's a lot of people obsessed about freeing them. There's, you know what I mean? If you're putting the case in front of people's face, they're going to have an opinion on it. And the DA, I mean, he's kind of proven why. He's done his point. He's said his point.
Of these proceedings, who are entitled to know whether they're going to move for a continuance or not, they're not being provided their rights. That's the problem. And that alone he should be disqualified for. We have complained over and over and over again to get these Marcy rights. And has he appointed anyone else other than Kathy Cady as the victim's rights person to help these people? Kathy Cady, who represented the late Uncle Milton. Is that fair? Is that a
Uncle Milton did not want him out, right? From what I understand, am I going to get that wrong? So not everybody wants him out.
fair process? Ask yourself, if your family member was in their situation 35 years later after incredible actions in prison that have helped so many people, so many prisoners to change their lives, ask yourself, I ask myself all the time, would it be different for my sister? They ask themselves, why aren't they being provided with those rights? Why does this DA have something personal against them? And remember his own press conference, which about 362 people actually watched, according to YouTube, his press.
No, like a lot of people watch his press conference, Mr. Oh my God. Brian Freeman's kind of like, I don't know, man. He's saying the DA's press conference didn't get views. It got way more than 300 and whatever people watched it here when I ran it. I believe.
You have to ask yourself why.
He's kind of like being deceitful, I think, in my opinion.
Why is he doing that? Is he personally vested in this? Does he have a personal grudge against?
I don't know. Are you personally invested in it? Are you personally invested in it to free them? Is that a legit question of mine?
Lyle and Eric, does he have a personal grudge because he's somehow vested in this personally? Does he have a personal grudge against the family members who are entitled to notice of these proceedings, who are entitled to know whether they're going to move for a continuance or not? They're not being provided their rights. That's the problem. And that alone he should be disqualified for. We have complained over and over and over again to get these Marcy rights. And has he appointed anyone else other than Kathy Cady as the victim's rights person to help these people? Kathy Cady, who represented the late Uncle Milton. Is that fair? Is that a fair process? Ask yourself, if your family member was in their situation 35 years later after incredible actions in prison that have helped so many people, so many prisoners to change their lives, ask yourself, I ask myself all the time, would it be different for my sister? They ask themselves, why aren't they being provided with those rights? Why does this DA have something personal against them? And remember his own press conference, which about 362 people actually watched, according to YouTube. His press conference said, and it's very important for you to watch it, by the way. His press conference said, "This is not the Menendez brothers. We're going to treat this separately. This is Lyle Menendez and Eric Menendez, and we're going to treat each of these separately. There are two cases. There's two different things. We're going to handle them two different ways." You remember that? You were here when he said that. Is that what's happening? I don't think so.
Brian, does it seem unfair that we would ask that you put family members up as witnesses when they've read, the DA has read this risk assessment, and you've not even seen it, and knowing that they'd have to be called back, they could be cross-examined on information they don't even know?
I first of all, I don't think the risk assessment is a completed document. So I think that putting anything up that's not something that's a completed process seems to be unfair to start with. But I don't know what it says. And
the point, only one side knows what it says, the other side doesn't.
Right. Doesn't sound like the United States of America, does it? I mean, it really doesn't. It's really outrageous. And you've gotten to know the family members. They're about to become your family members. We spent more time together than I've spent with my family. I mean, I love these people. They're incredible people. They show up. I wish that all of our families showed up this way. But one man and one man only. And it's not, I don't even think it's those three DAs. I think it's one man and one man only has decided to take on this crusade.
Brian, can you describe the emotional whiplash of the whole family turning up again? They were just here last week, preparing to testify, and then being told that it's called off.
Well, it was nice to get the win last week, I think.
And maybe
You know what I mean? But I think the family can speak better to that. And I just think it's a shame. I think that we should be tough on crime. Go out and find some. Go get the looters. Go get the people that burned down my house. Go get the people that are out there.
Someone burned down his house?
These people. They're incredible people. They show up. I wish that all of our families showed up this way. But one man and one man only. And it's not, I don't even think it's those three DAs. I think it's one man and one man only has decided to take on this crusade.
Brian, can you describe the emotional whiplash of the whole family turning up again? They were just here last week, preparing to testify, and then being told that it's called off.
Well, it was nice to get the win last week.
He's making it seem like, did he make it seem like someone burned it down? Murder isn't a crime. Yeah, no, this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. I agree with you. Don't forget tonight, Grayson Report, folks. Grayson Report tonight live.
And maybe
You know what I mean? But I think the family can speak better to that. And I just think it's a shame. I think that we should be tough on crime. Go out and find some. Go get the loot.
And then Matthew said, "Oh no, not you, Matthew. Murder is a crime." Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Look, lawyers. I don't know. I don't. You guys judge, all right? I'm not a Justin Baldoni fan. That's all I gotta say.
Looters. Go get the people that burned down my house. Go get the people
that burned down his house. Did someone burn down his house on purpose? That sucks, man. Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Freeman's home burned down in Palisade fire and aimed ongoing legal battles. The attorney who represents It Ends With Us actor, director Justin Baldoni aimed at multiple legal battles involving the film with star Blake Lively, lost his home in the Palisade fire. But did somebody do this on purpose? Well, I guess I'd have to go and investigate.
are out there smashing and grabbing. Go be tough on crime. Don't forget about what's happened in 35 years and how these boys who are now men have helped.
calling them boys is propaganda. Even back then.
Hundreds of people in prison to recover. Thank you.
Well, today was a little bit disappointing for us as a family as we march on. It was there have been some delays in this process that were.
Could someone, okay, I'm going to ask everybody in here to do their research right now. And let me know in the chat. Did someone, is there something where like Brian Freeman got his house burned down by someone on purpose? Because let me know in the chat if you guys could find the answer to that. And then I'm going to ask, did he make it seem like that? Because my opinion is yes.
Unforeseeable, like the wildfires that, of course, we have great patience for. This is another delay that is not so much, but we will continue to show up as a family. We were a little bit frustrated that the CRA was, that the governor did waive his privilege for the CRA, and that will be allowed in, although whether it can be used or not is still remains to be seen. Although we do understand the transparency behind that. I will tell you that we were given the option as a family if we wanted to testify today, but the idea of testifying when one side has information that the other side does not, and to be facing cross-examination from a team that has information that we do not, whether it's good or bad or neutral, did not seem.
Yeah, Heather says he may have been, he think he's bending the words. Wendy says he seems to be making it personal with the home. I don't see the connection. And I got to say, I don't like that. I don't like that. Lawyers know what they're doing. That's kind of deceiving, man.
Fair to us at all. Did not seem like something we were going to put ourselves through.
Certainly wasn't going to be something. Burn it down? Yes or no in the comments? Did he?
Something that I was going to encourage anyone in my family to do. I know that lots of you have been rooting for my mother, so I do want to let you know that she is out of the hospital and she is recovering, and she is a very strong woman. She will continue this fight. I don't think that you will see her again in public at any hearings moving forward. I don't think that will be in her health's best interest, and our greatest priority right now is keeping her safe. So
now, if you guys are just tuning in, we did cover the Karmelo stuff, and skying is medicine. Says, I stand with Karmelo and his family, self-defense. All right. Hey, look, we never said we don't. It's all good. Everybody's welcome. I'm not going to side on anybody's side right now. I have a podcast. I'm trying. I don't want to have egg on my face by like going in 100% on someone, and then it turns out differently. Look at what happened with Jay-Z. Everybody wanted him to be guilty, right? And it's like, I don't know about that guy, man. I don't know if he's guilty. So all those people that were like 100% Jay-Z, that's right. I'm not jumping on the 100% Justin Baldoni stuff. I'm keeping it neutral. I want to know all the facts, trial, and stuff like that. So we did cover that earlier.
So thank you all very much. I don't have any, I'm not taking any questions, but Tamara's got a few things to say. Yeah.
He's not taking any questions because anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. Smart.
First, I think, Matt, were you the one that asked about why not wait? Are you a goal-driven person?
Yes.
Are you goal-driven?
I think so.
If you know that you have more than just one avenue towards a goal, are you going to hit all avenues?
Of course.
We've got 3 avenues, and we're heading down all of them. I'm not a patient person. I'm not waiting for run. We're going all 3. In regards to the bias question, I had a one-on-one conversation with Hockman and his team with Brian and Mark present, and it was very clear that Hockman has no desire to come at this objectively.
Oh my God!
He made the statement.
Thank you so much for the support. Great content, Lewis. Thank you for the compliment. Shelly, thanks, guys and gals. Hearts for Shelly. If you want to support the channel, you could do so with a super chat, just like Shelly did. Just like Shelly did. You can also send a super sticker. You become a member. Let's keep it going. The support. Thank you. Yeah, Shelly is amazing. Thank you, Shelly.
And I quote, referring to all of the quote unquote horrible people that Mark represents. That does not tell me that this person has any ability to see Eric and Lyle through any other lens.
So the DA says that Mark Garagos, did she say that Mark Garagos represents bad people? Is that what she said? Quote unquote. Or is that her opinion he does, right? Trying to thank Shelly in the chat. Oh my God.
So with that, my disappointment in his inappropriate, belittling, and abusive behavior that day, I don't feel safe with him or any of his team.
Okay, because they want to take out the
So
DA.
with that,
you want them not to be with.
I'm really, although I would have loved to see what we could have done today and tomorrow, I'm relieved just to know that we're going to move on with the hearing on May 9th. So
May 9th, I'll be covering it. Who's going to be here?
And by the way, for those of you who are asking, this is a woman who asked specifically
Thank you, Matt,
to have a separate, when there was a meeting with the DA, to meet with him separately. I was there, Ryan was there, and they met separately. She was abused. That's the only way you can put it. She was abused. She likened it, and I don't want to victimize her even more, but she likened it to spousal abuse in the way that she was demeaned. You can see the emotion that she had. She was ridiculed. She was attacked. I was appalled. I sat there and I was actually stunned by the way she was treated as a victim. When you ask, why do you think he's got bias? Exhibit A, right there. She asked to meet separately. She asked to address her concerns because she had very personal concerns. And instead of being empathetic, she was attacked, and it was appalling. And we'll lay it all out. Unfortunately, for this family, there are no secrets. For this family, there's no floor on the amount of trauma that they have to go through. Frankly, I will tell you, they had healed as a family as much as you can before this process. As when Lyle and Eric had virtually no hope for 18 years, they made the choice to just soldier on to help others. The family had basically made that decision. When they got this hope, the person who has traumatized them the most was elected by the County of Los Angeles on November 5th, and he has done nothing but traumatize, abuse, and serially traumatize them ever since. This man is not a victims' rights advocate. He is a predator. And I'll leave it at that.
Damn. Garagos. Does he come out again?
Who endorsed him as his head of victim services. He has given absolutely no victims services whatsoever to the victims.
You know, all sorts of things that are relevant here. And they flew out, they were ready to move forward. It was the DA's office that brought a motion to continue this. While we were arguing the motion to continue this, Mr. Hochman was busy out here with you guys pontificating on whatever, however horrible this crime was, which is not even the standard of what we're talking about. The standard is about rehabilitation.
I think it's the same stuff. Let's see what else is going on. It is just a loop. All right, so here's video of I guess Metcalf's father being escorted out of the press conference earlier today, because it was a press conference held by the family.
Goes to the principal later in the day and said, "Hey, I need to get something off of my chest." He said we were down at the.
So the dad showed up to the press conference, and I don't know if it was being disrespectful. I mean, as far as like just showing up is being disrespectful type of thing. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Maybe if there's any more footage. ABC Texas. We're reacting to this video. There's the dad coming in to the press conference. Oh, holy shit. Look at that. He just walks in, dude. Okay, so this is Karmelo Anthony's family had a press conference earlier today, and this happened before the press conference. Wow. How was the TV ready for him? Wow. I want to see the point where they kicked him out, though. I mean, yeah, it was planned. He planned to go to the press conference. But I want to see the part where they asked him to leave. Okay. Oh, here we go. They were asking him to leave. Isn't this the same thing that happened with Karmelo allegedly? Though he went to the wrong tent. And he was asked to leave by Austin. Isn't that what they're saying happened? I don't know. I'm confused here. Isn't that bad? They're asking him to leave.
Hello, everyone. We are about to approach and get started.
If it's private property and it's a private press conference, they are allowed to ask him to leave in California, from what I know. But we're asking you to leave. Isn't that what they're saying happened to Karmelo? I'm so confused.
Hello, everyone. We are about to
They're asking the father to leave the press
get
conference.
started in a few minutes.
Why shouldn't he be there, though, Shelley? Why shouldn't he be there? Personally, I don't think he should have gone. I don't know. But now, I think they have the right to ask him to leave, though, because it is a private place, maybe. It's the other family's presser. I don't know. Is it by who is it private? Who makes the rules up? Exactly. I don't know what the rules are. But I do think they have the right to ask him to leave. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm being very neutral here. But it's very ironic.
Hello, everyone. We are about to.
The thing is, if it's private property and the Karmelo family rented the place, they could ask him to leave. If at least here, from what I understand in LA, they could invite any press they want. Maybe they should. They thought he was going to start something. I do believe that's what it is. I think he went to, like, hey, man, what do you have to say? Type of thing. Here they're asking him to leave. Crazy.
Hello, everyone. We are about to.
Crazy footage, man.
Approach and get started in a few minutes. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
The spokes guy does address it.
So real quick, as we get started, so we can put some house rules together. If we can swing over here and swing across the wall, we have security that are here in the building. We have a blended of Dallas Police Department and security for the Next Generation Action Network. Let me make this very clear because I say this unapologetically. The Next Generation Action Network has never played with the safety and security of anything. We don't play those type of games, all right? We like to, whenever we're doing a protest or anything, everybody in the media know we don't play when it comes to safety and security. So we're gonna ask one time for it and ask you to slide over just one time. We're not gonna ask anybody something twice, okay?
Telling the press
I will
to
make
move the
sure that the
cameras.
safety of this family is ensured. It won't happen on my watch. I just want you to know so that you can quote it. If we have to ask more than once, just know that's coming at the direction of me. You can quote me on it. All right?
I don't know what that means. There's a lot of, I don't know what that means.
Just because the kid was mad.
I don't know what's going on, man. I'm kind of getting, this whole thing is, I don't know what's going on. Is this a protest? I don't know. I don't know at this point. I think it's just a kid. He went to the other side to try to like, yo, what's up, to own him? And then it went wrong. I don't know, man. think it's just escalating. How big is this going to get, though? Like, is this going to really, like... How big is the story, folks? Do you guys know?
In wake of this tragic incident,
You guys
our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened.
Now, I know we have, when I played this originally, we had like different people watching, and I'm going to say it again. Do not bother anyone. Folks, again, we disavow any piece of shit racism, sexism, anything like that. Do not bother any of these people. All right. I do believe these people there are people harassing them. I do. I don't know the extent of it. I don't think it's like everyone following this is harassing them, to be fair, but I do feel there's a small amount of pricks that are doxing and doing all that garbage. I do believe, I don't think they're making this up. I don't.
Harassed and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming.
And people can lie on the internet and then pretend it's real and then people believe it.
The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats.
And look at, even if it's one person doing those threats and the doxing, it is traumatizing. Especially if you're not someone who's been online. I've been called everything in the book and accused of everything, right? And I'm kind of like developed a thick skin. But if you're new to getting threatened like that, that's horrific, man. That's terrible. I know what this lady's. I understand this lady.
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Let's bring in the man.
We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Oof. Let's see what Como has to say. Guys, let's react to this video together. Make sure to
Let's bring in the man who will be responsible.
this guy. I'm not a big fan, but it's has a voice. Let's where are the tears? I don't know. Some people react to hurt differently. I'm not judging right now. Could you guys hear this?
Responsible for justice in this case. District Attorney Greg Willis.
Let's see. Could you guys hear him? Greg Willis, District Attorney. Make sure the audio is good before I. Chris Cuomo is all right. He's Italian. Hey, so was Mussolini. Not going. But yeah, most definitely, the Italians are mostly right. You guys can hear the audio? You guys can hear the audio? Sorry, I always ask that, man. Sometimes I play this shit and then the audio's wrong.
Who will be responsible for justice in this case. District Attorney Greg Willis. Thank you very much for joining me, sir.
Shelly. Don't get technical. That's awesome.
With you, Chris.
So you have charged first-degree murder on the books in your state. That means he knew what he was doing. He had time to plan and think about what he was doing, and he did it with an intent to kill. Is that what you believe?
Okay, let's go.
Good to be with you, Chris.
So you have charged first-degree murder on the books in your state. That means he knew what he was doing. He had time to plan and think about what he was doing, and he did it with an intent to kill.
Wow.
Is that what you believe?
Well, let me just say this. That's what he has been arrested for. My office has not yet received the case. But I will say this, Chris, this case has really struck a nerve in our community.
Look, man, that kid's look is of regret of what happened. I'm sorry. I gotta call it like it is. Or maybe he's worried about what's going to happen to him, but
I mean, people are upset, and rightfully so. I mean, we've lost a young life, and the pain is real. At a time like this, it's hard for anyone to be level-headed about this, but that's our job, to be steady, be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it may lead.
What do you need to know under the law in your jurisdiction for self-defense to apply?
Well, as you can imagine, it's very fact-based, and of course, I can't address the particular case, but that's what's so important. For Frisco is still in their investigation, and whenever they finish that up in the next few weeks, they will forward it to my office. We will vet everything very, very carefully, and ultimately prepare it for a grand jury presentation. And so the grand jury will decide whether this case goes forward. I mean, I would expect it to, because most cases do go forward, but I can't comment on this particular one.
I got it. I just want people to understand the standard. What does self-defense mean under your law?
Well, it gets pretty involved, but I can just say that I'm trying to tiptoe around it. So
you couldn't pick more of a fucked up situation, though, man. Look at that. Always the football player is always going to look, well, not always. A lot of times, the football player is going to look like the bully, man, because they're all big and bulky, right? This kid's skinny. There's the race thing going on there, man, unfortunately.
I'm not, so it doesn't look like I'm commenting on this particular case. But self-defense law in most states is pretty similar when you're not talking about the Castle Doctrine or something like that. So, people look at the degree of response, what the person is defending themselves against. And I think people know about that. So I'd rather not get into the specifics of this.
It's not a stand your ground jurisdiction, is it?
Well, in a situation like this where you're at a school, well, there I go. If you're outside of your home, then I would just say it's a pretty reasonable thing. People can say, hey, what's reasonable under the circumstances? And this person felt threatened for their life. How did they respond? Did they not feel threatened for their life? Did they feel something less than that? Then the law in Texas is similar to most states, which is if you're going to respond in self-defense, it needs to be proportionate to that situation.
Is this the trickiest case you've ever had to handle, not in terms of the facts and the law, but in terms of the optics and the overlay of the attention it's already getting? Because, let's be honest, because of the race and the race of the victim and the alleged assailant.
Well, it might be. The case is not even in our office yet, so I could certainly comment on that afterwards. I know it has really caught the attention of our community and around Texas and apparently the country. And people feel deeply about, our youth, our education, sports, and as you said,
I think people obsess on sports way too much.
Other dynamics that are involved. And so there's a lot of different factors that make people care particularly about this case. And that's why it's so important as the prosecutor for me to be level-headed, fact-based, steady, and just follow the truth wherever it may lead.
Can we get 100 more? Can we get 100 likes on this video though? This is kind of pathetic. It's at like 70. All right, folks, let's also go to this real quick. Unfortunately, there was another incident. I covered it earlier, but I don't know. People didn't get notified or what. The FSU banging. Am I wrong? Are they saying that the person responsible, the mom, was a sheriff or law enforcement? Did I hear that correctly? But anyways, let's go to the presser. Let me know if you have any questions or if you could hear it. Yeah, we're like covering the news big time today. Oh my God, the audio. Is that real audio from the AP? There's no audio there, bro. There's no audio. What kind of audio is that? That's embarrassing. Here we go.
My name is Jason Trumbauer, and I'm the Chief of Police at Florida State University. All Florida State University classes and business operations on the main campus in Tallahassee are canceled through Friday, April 18th. Essential employees should check with their supervisors for further reporting instructions. All FSU athletic events in Tallahassee are canceled through Sunday. At approximately 11:50 a.m. Thursday, April 17th, a gunman opened fire on the main campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, shooting multiple individuals in the vicinity of the Student Union building. FSU police responded immediately, engaged, neutralized, and apprehended the shooter. 2 victims of deceased are deceased, and 5 individuals have been transported to a local hospital with gunshot wounds. The shooter has also been transported to a local hospital. The 2 deceased are not students. The shooter is believed to be a current FSU student. I do not have additional information on the shooter's identity at this time. Students who need assistance can go to the Donald L. Tucker Center, where the university is providing counseling, health care, and other support services. Family members are also able to go to the Tucker Center for assistance. Students, faculty, and staff are asked to call their loved ones as soon as possible to update them on their status. The student union and the surrounding area is still considered an active crime scene. Individuals should avoid the area. Students should not return to the student union to retrieve personal property at this time. Students may return to their residence halls, but they should otherwise stay indoors on main campus to allow first responders and university staff to do their jobs and respond to those needing assistance. Students may depart campus for the weekend. All classes have been canceled through Friday.
That's good.
Before I turn this over to Chief Revel, I want to thank all the brave men and women of the FSU PD for responding immediately to the scene. I also want to thank the responding agencies who have provided assistance to FSU today big time, including the Tallahassee Police Department, the Leon County Sheriff's Office, the Florida Highway Patrol, Leon County Emergency Medical Services, FDLE, and all other responding agencies today. We really appreciate your support. That's all the information I have at this time. We'll have additional update for you later today. Chief Revel.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I am Chief Revel with the Tallahassee Police Department. As the shooting occurred today, our officers, as well as every single other officer in this city and county, responded immediately to this scene. Once on scene and once we began working through what was occurring and what we were working in consultation with FSU, Tallahassee Police Department was asked to take lead on this. So we will be the lead for this investigation in both the officer involved shooting portion of this as well as the homicide portion of this. I will come up after the last speaker and entertain just a few questions, but needless to say, we have multiple crime scenes. This is a very large area we're covering. We have thousands, hundreds of thousands, or hundreds or thousands of witnesses. And again, this is an active, ongoing investigation. So the information that we will be allowed to release right now may be fairly limited. I'll answer what I can at that time. But I will assure you that as soon as we can, any information that becomes available, we will make that available to you. One of the things in the process, and again, understand that this is an ongoing active investigation. So things are happening as we are standing here and as we are speaking. We have identified the shooter, obviously. He's at the hospital. So
Shooter's been
with more on that, I'm going to allow the sheriff to come up and speak on that portion of it.
Thank you, Chief. As Chief Revel indicated, I'm Walt McNeil, Leon County Sheriff. First and foremost, let me express our gratitude to the responding law enforcement agencies in this community. Our citizens should feel some degree of comfort knowing that your law enforcement agencies are going to respond and do exactly what we did in this case, that is bring the offender to justice and to make sure that we do what we can to make sure we lock him or her up. Let me say to you, this is obviously a heinous crime. Our deepest condolences go out to the FSU family, the families of the students who are here. And we understand that you all have been devastated because of this person's actions. The question as it relates to who is the shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eckner. Eichner. And he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy. Our Deputy Eichner, has been with the Leon County Sheriff's Office for over 18 years. She has a tremendous job that she's done. Her service to this community has been exceptional. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene. And we are continuing that investigation into how that weapon was used and what other weapons perhaps he may have had access to. The alleged shooter was also a long-standing member of the Leon County Sheriff's Office Citizen Advisory or Youth Advisory Council. So he has been steeped in the Leon County Sheriff's Office family, engaged in a number of training programs that we have. So it's not a surprise to us that he had access to weapons. This event is tragic in more ways than you people in the audience could ever fathom from a law enforcement perspective. But I will tell you this, we will make sure that we do everything we can to prosecute and make sure that we send a message to folks that this will never be tolerated here in Leon County, and I dare say across this state and across this nation. Thank you. Let me bring up the FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge, Hubert Reynolds.
Good afternoon. My name is Hubert Reynolds, and I'm the Acting Special Agent in charge of the Jacksonville Field Office. I want to echo those standing with me what a horrific crime this is, and we stand with you fully. We have an office here in Tallahassee, and we are fully engaged with providing any resources that we can bring to bear to help with this investigation moving forward. We've established a digital tips media line where you can upload photos, videos prior to and during the incident. If you were there from social media, please upload all of that. I will give you now the website address. You can upload any tips to www.fbi.gov/FSU shooting. Again, that's www.fbi.gov/FSU shooting. I want to assure you that we are going to bring every available resource to be able to help the community and the local people here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Richard McCullough, Rick McCullough, the president of Florida State University. This is a tragic day for Florida State University. We're absolutely heartbroken by the violence that occurred on our campus earlier today. 2 have died. 5 other innocents are being treated for their injuries. We're working to support the victims, their families, and everyone affected by this traumatic event. I just returned from the hospital. The First Lady and I met some of our students who are the victims. Our hearts go out to our students and the victims of this terrible tragedy. I have to say that our law enforcement, our FSU police officers, absolute heroes in this regard. The call went out, someone called it in, and immediately they responded to the scene and immediately neutralized the suspect and prevented this from being a bigger tragedy. I want to thank them so much for what they do to try to keep our students safe. I want to thank all the law enforcement partners, FSU Police, Tallahassee Police, Leon County Sheriff's Department, Florida Highway Patrol, and the Florida Department Law Enforcement, and all other responding agencies for their rapid and courageous response. I want to thank everybody that came out to visit with the students and to help us and to be here today for this press conference. And I appreciate so much the support that you're all providing to our university and to our students. We're fully cooperating with the investigation, and we defer to law enforcement as they continue their work. I'd also like to thank all the healthcare providers at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. They're treating and providing outstanding care to our victims. Right now, our top priority is safety and well-being for all the people and our campus. As it was said, classes are canceled on the main campus today and tomorrow, and all FSU athletics events on Tallahassee are canceled through Sunday. We also want to tell you that counseling and psychological services are available to students, faculty, and staff, and anyone that needs that should call 850-644-2003. We're also providing support for faculty and staff through our employee assistance program. And so if you need any help, please reach out. We'll continue to communicate with the campus community as we know more. This is a deeply emotional time, but we're all here to support each other. We're going to do everything we can to support our community. We're a strong and united community, and we're family. And so we'll take care of all of you. And we'll get through this together. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we will take a few questions. Let me just reiterate, this was a massive response, a massive response of law enforcement personnel. Our federal, state, local partners have continued to build relationships that long preceded this event. And that came into great play today in the seamless way that we all came together to work these events. But I know you'll have some specific questions. I will tell you right now, we are not going to talk about the victims other than the fact that there are 6 of them, two additional deceased, and then the suspect. So 9 total persons. 9 total persons. Yes, sir.
Have you all been able to talk to the suspect at all? Any idea about motive?
The suspect invoked his rights not to speak to us.
Chief, do we know if the weapon that was used was his parents' service weapon? And if so, storing service weapons?
Right. No, that's a good question. This weapon was a weapon that the deputy previously used. A lot of times, many agencies, mine included, when we transition to a new handgun, the officers are allowed to purchase the handgun they used prior. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but I believe that's the case here. This was a handgun that deputy used prior to them transitioning to a new handgun. And so it was her personal handgun.
Is she put on leave or?
The sheriff would have to speak to that.
But disciplinary action.
We will do a thorough investigation to look at all aspects of it.
She sure
There's no
resigned.
cause right now that we're aware of that require her to be placed on any kind of suspension.
There's probably
or
nothing that
otherwise.
should suspend her, but she's probably should just
Yes, ma'am.
resign.
We've
her
been hearing
own.
stuff that it was a deputy who was a school resource officer. Is that true?
That is correct.
Chief, those injured, those killed, or any of those members of law enforcement?
I'm sorry?
Anyone who died in the shooting or was injured in the shooting, were any of them members of law enforcement, whether it be the
No, they were not. They were not. Yes, sir.
When law enforcement arrived, did the suspects engage with them or did he surrender immediately?
No, they challenged him and ended up shooting. He did not comply with commands and was shot.
Did he fire officers?
I do not believe he fired at officers.
We've heard that Phoenix may be autistic. Are you able to confirm that detail?
I do not have that detail.
Is there an ID of the victims yet?
I'm sorry?
ID of the victims.
We're not releasing any of the victim information at this time.
Was the officer aware of any behavioral conditions or concerns or threats prior to this incident?
We were not.
How quickly did officers arrive on scene with the 911 call to want to engage the suspect?
We will get you that information. I don't have that currently. I assume that would be a question that was asked, but I mean, it was almost immediately. That FSU, obviously this is their campus and they patrol it very well. So they were on scene almost immediately, engaged almost immediately. And then everyone else, again, was a massive, very quick response.
I know you said that the 2 deceased were not students. Do we know of those 5 that were injured or any of them students?
Again, we're not releasing any information on the students on the victims at this point.
Specifically, what
I'm sorry? It was a handgun. I don't know what type of handgun that was. It was probably a 40. I don't know. Yeah.
Chief, I heard a report that a shotgun was also recovered on campus. Was that used in the shooting?
We do know that he had a shotgun with him. We have not confirmed anyone was shot with a shotgun at this point. But again, that could change as we, again, there are hundreds and hundreds of witnesses. And as we piece all of this back together, information will come to light that we may not have at this point. So I do not believe so at this point.
We'll take one more question. Will body cam footage of radio dispatch or any logs be released in the near future?
I'm sorry, say again.
Will there be any body cam footage or radio dispatch logs or incident reports being released anytime soon?
We will work with the state attorney's office, which we always do, in pulling together all the information, all the investigative evidence from this case, and in collaboration with State Attorney Campbell, we will make that determination. Obviously, after the case is over, we will certainly, it all becomes available at that point. But as to what we can and will release at that point, like I said before, we're very open, transparent on these things. Again, the officers did an incredible job. But again, some of this is very horrific. This is a horrific incident. And so we will, again, collaborate with the state attorney's office and determine which of that evidence could be released or will not be released. But again, I'll let you know that as soon as we make that determination. So thank you all very much. Appreciate you being here. And just let me reiterate what's already been said. The collaboration between all of the agencies, the federal, the state, the local, all of our first responders, our EMS personnel, our fire department, again, just a massive response, immediate treatment to the victims that were there, the transport of them. Again, it was a very seamless response to this tragedy. And that goes to the training that we all do repeatedly, individually as agencies and together. The incident command came together very, very quickly. And again, I could not be more proud of the response and more horrified.
All right, folks, I think that does it for today, man. It's been a long, almost 3-hour stream. Any questions real quick? Make sure to check out Grayson Report tonight. You'll be redirected there, I believe, after the stream. It's at 7. Go and have a good time there. Redirected there, I believe. Yeah, you'll be redirected over there. I'm going to go now and I'm going to get some weight training, do a little bit of lifting weights, and then have a nice meal, hopefully. You could also keep the conversation going in the comments, folks. It's a good way to support the channel, by keeping the conversation going in the comments. All right, we'll see you later. Nerd out. More videos coming.